Hello everyone, this is Global Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. I also want to remind you that some of our video courses are already available. Buy them if you haven't done it yet. We would really appreciate your support. Today we would like to show you one more technique for edging the v-necks. Have a look at the current sample. We've already cut the front neckline. Notice that the lines are not straight, they are slightly round. We've already cut a piece of the interfacing material to double the neckline. We also need 5 cm wide straps cut on the bias. The width of the plackets will be 5 cm. We're going to double them with the interfacing material, which should also be cut on the bias. Let's go to the ironing desk to double the plackets. First of all, we need to double the neckline. We'll make a notch here later. That's why we need to double it, especially when using thin or fraying fabrics. Do not forget to mark the wrong side. The mock-up can be moved aside. Let's move on to working with the plackets. I remind you that both the main fabric and the interfacing material for the plackets were cut on the bias. Be very attentive. The details cut on the bias can easily be stretched. Make sure not to do it. We're working with the two details together. In this case, if they shrink, they will do it simultaneously. Next, we need to cut the extra pieces from the details, then fold and press them. Fold each of the details in half and press it. Be very careful, do not stretch the fabric. The plackets should be straight. Do not try to shape them now. We'll do it later. Let's go to the sewing machine. Put the garment on the table face up. We need to attach the plackets this way. We'll make a seam here, right in the center. First, we need to cut the extra pieces. Cut them at the right angle. You can make a V-neck of different shape. Make it more pointed or more round. To mark the location of the seam, attach the plackets to the neckline. Pin the plackets the way they are going to be stitched. Draw a line here, and then draw the seam. We can cut the extra piece now. The width of the seam will be 5 mm. Cut the other placket according to the first one. To do that, join the details together. This is how it should be done. Next, we need to stitch the details together. This is how they look like now. Pin the details right in the center. The width of the seam is 5 millimeters. Do not forget to make back stitches at the beginning of the seam. Stitch it to the center. Make sure that the needle is inside of the detail, and then turn it. Next, we need to make a tiny notch here, right in the angle. It should be done for us to be able to turn the detail right side out accurately.
Чтобы мы смогли его вывернуть. Вот что у нас получилось после стачивания этих деталей.
We've made a notch here. And next, we need to press these seams open. Cut the extra pieces first. Press the seams open. Be very careful. The stitched plackets are of the V shape. The plackets will be stitched this way. We need to mark a checkpoint so that the center of the details match. We need to draw a mark 5 millimeters below the end of the neckline. Watch the way we are doing it. 5 millimeters on one side and 5 millimeters on the other side. The intersection point. Here it is. Should be even to this one. Pin the details and then stitch them. Be very attentive. These points should match. Watch what Nataly is doing attentively. Pin the details and check if the checkpoints match. It is very important. The width of the seam will be 5 millimeters. So the drawn checkpoints should match the same point 5 millimeters away from the edge in the placket. We can start stitching the first side. Do not forget to make back stitches at the beginning of the seam. Be very careful when you reach the center front. The last stitch should be made right at the checkpoint. It's very important. Make a small back stitch here. This technique has two stages.
точно в этот прокол иглы,
Have a close look here.
который мы только что сделали.
Next, you need to make a small notch.
Нужно точно попасть
Be very
в
careful.
прокол иглы, но его не рассечь.
Do not cut the seam
Будьте внимательны
and the placket.
с стороны. У вас не рассеклась
This is a must.
только ткань. Вот наш рассеченный угол.
Have a look here.
Это рассечь.
We've made a notch on the neckline.
Обработать вторую сторону разреза. Наташа,
Due to this fact, we will be able to stitch the placket to the other side.
чтобы обработать вторую сторону. И вот здесь как раз есть
Nataly has turned the detail to the wrong side. Have a close look here.
вот наша строчка для обработки веек
The notch ends right in the checkpoint.
точно совпадает с
It will be more convenient to stitch from the wrong side to stop exactly at the checkpoint.
любой изнаночной, чтобы
Pin the details first and then stitch them.
скалываем и настрачиваем. Прокладываем строчку,
We're stitching from the wrong side.
так нам удобнее. Чтобы мы точно
Stop stitching right in the checkpoint.
точку.
You can also make plackets of different color.
Какого цвета. Очень
It's very convenient to use this technique for edging knitted or linen garments.
футболки, изделия из льна.
If you edge the neckline accurately, your garments will be beautiful and neat.
Отлично.
Well done.
Благодаря тому, что строчили с изнаночной
Due to the fact that we were stitching from the wrong side, we were able to stop right in the checkpoint. Have a look at the right side. The garment is not ironed yet. This is what we're going to do next.
в конце веек.
As for these pieces, you can use them for edging the back neckline.
Спинки на обработку ростка, потому что
The plackets will fit the back neckline well because they were cut on the bias.
хорошо ляжет по спинке.
Iron the neckline carefully.
Утюжка проводит
Do not make any folds.
с лицевой стороны.
We are ironing the mock-up from the right side.
И лишних складочек.
Iron the details both from the wrong and from the right sides.
Вот эти срезы
You can edge the plackets with an overlocker or cover them with lining.
подкладкой, смотря как у вас по модели,
We are making just a mock-up,
изделие с подкладкой или без. Мы в нашем
so there is no need for us to do it now.
ставим открытые срезы, потому что это образец.
We just wanted to show you how to edge the V-necks with the plackets.
V-образный вырез. Сейчас
You can shape the plackets when ironing them.
уложить косую бейку.
Have a look at the result. The technique is pretty simple. It's very important to do everything accurately.
Сложно, главное, чтобы все было точно.
Have a look at the wrong side. You can edge the plackets with an overlocker. We were glad to show you this technique. That's all for today. Be different and beautiful. We're Nataly and Ira. Buy our courses, subscribe to this channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. We would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.